Menopausal body changes. We got a lot of questions about this, and this one could have been written by me. What can one realistically do about menopause belly? I've had a flat stomach all my life. My challenge area was always hips and thighs and butt for me. But now I've got a stomach too. I'm a size 6, 5'4, 122 pounds, and exercise through gym classes, pickleball, and biking. I do stomach exercises regularly. I've read about supplements, including bone broth, magnesium, and everything else under the sun. But that seems like a sales pitch to me. Any truth to this matter? What can women do about this problem? And that is from Elise.
Well, Elise, those are all myths. Don't buy the broth, the magnesium, unless you obviously need the magnesium. Sadly enough, metabolism does change with each decade of life. And we know that estrogen does facilitate metabolism. Estrogen is not for weight loss, that's for sure. It can lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and helps alleviate some insulin resistance, which many women experience as they trend into menopause. But the most important thing is eating healthfully, making sure you sleep. Women who are sleep deprived, women with insomnia, it impacts their metabolic rate, increases their risk of cardiovascular disease, and increases their risk of, both gaining weight and everything. With menopause, fat does redistribute itself, and many women gain weight in the midsection. So how do we avoid that? Working out, seriously, building muscle. And I'm not talking about going into, weightlifting competitions, but lean muscles, working out with light weights. The more muscle you have, muscle mass facilitates metabolism, muscle burns more calories than fat, and it will help minimize that. My feeling is we have to embrace our age. We're all changing, but we need to be our best selves if we can be. And again, working on core strength and holding planks. And I don't think I started to do any of that stuff before I turned 50, but it really makes a big difference because if you work on core, you're going to be stronger. You're less likely to fall. You're less likely to fall and break a bone. So it also, with the core strength, it does hold everything in like a corset. It will minimize the sensation of, belly fat or minimize the accumulation of belly fat. Also, the other thing, Katie, I think you and I have talked about this, posture. When we work on posture and alignment, we're less likely to slump over. And if you think about women who have poor posture, their belly becomes more protuberant, which we talked about in the past.
What about intermittent fasting? Can that be helpful?
It can be. Again, it's not for everybody, but many women do find it helpful for maintaining weight or actually losing a little weight.
Where you eat in, say, an 8-hour window and not before or after.
Exactly.
Cheryl asks, since ending menopause, I've been struggling with my weight and my breasts have increased 3 sizes from 36C to 38 double D. I remember this happening to my aunt as well. However, at the time, I had no idea that postmenopause was responsible. Would really appreciate any help you can give.
So this is not unusual at all. About 50% of women do notice breast growth after menopause, and women do have a greater percentage of body fat. Body fat does turn some of the male hormones that women continue to make after menopause. Body fat does turn these male hormones into estrogen. So estrogen probably does play a role with breast enlargement, but there's a lot that we just don't know. So again, eating more healthfully, building, and maintaining muscle will help with metabolism, minimize fat. And when one gains weight, it typically is distributed evenly, fat is, but it tends to go into the midsection and then also into the breasts.